I look really skinny on camera. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Batushka, a Polish atmospheric black metal band. A lot of people in the Christian metal scene that I've seen, they think that they are Orthodox Christian because of the robes and stuff. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. They may not even be Christian in general if they're making a mockery of Holy Orthodoxy. So I'm making this as my forward into the discussion. No one is probably going to watch this except for maybe a few of my friends, but I don't care. I just want to make it because I need to get it off my chest. So without further ado, here we go. First off, I think I should state I have no formal theological training. All of my theology knowledge comes from books, my personal pastors, my priest, and just on my own learning. So I just wanted to get that out in the open, out of the way, so you can make your decision on whether I am a credible source for this or not, and if you just want to ignore it. In which case, I don't blame you, and bye. I'm going to reiterate for the sake of my notes on what I should talk about on my computer that Batushka is not Orthodox at all. And if anything, they're making a mockery of Holy Orthodoxy and Holy Tradition and our images. So, here's why. The robes that they wear are modeled after Grand Schema robes. Here are a few nuns wearing the Grand Schema or Analavos robes. Something that a lot of Western Christians may not know or find interesting is the different type of cross used. The Orthodox cross. Here's my Orthodox cross icon, or Orthodox crucifix icon. Sorry if the audio's way worse. I have a vent there and there. But this is on top of my icon wall. These are holy images used by Orthodox for centuries. But you'll notice the tilting footrest, called a rest, probably didn't give him any relief, and what's officially the nameplate. Now if I take this down, you can get a better look. So up here we have God the Father, with angels on each side. And icons that have God the Father depicted are usually not considered canonical, but in some cases it's accepted. On Christ's right, we have the Most Holy Mother of God, or Theotokos, and on his left, we have St. John. The bar at the bottom is a reminder of the two thieves that were on the cross while Christ was being crucified. One was forgiven and went up to heaven. The other refused forgiveness, and so he went down the other way. And down here, we have a little skull, which is actually Adam's skull. Christ is the new Adam. He is the new perfect man in a way. It's not the best way of putting it, but it's kind of. And then we have along the side the spear that pierced his side, along with the stick with the sponge on it that was offered. And it's kind of a general overview of an Orthodox cross. I see a lot of Western Christians in Christian metal invert a regular cross. Let me get this one off. Invert a regular cross like this, that it's just a cross, in a manner of St. Peter's cross, who was crucified inverted. Tradition tells us that he said he was not worthy to die in the way that Christ died, so he asked them, "Crucify me upside down." So in some places it's been used as a symbol of our unworthiness. Now, if you look at Batushka's robes, here's a really good promo photo for Batushka's robes, and you'll notice that the 3-bar cross is inverted. This cannot be an example of making it St. Peter's cross, because a 3-bar cross is only for Christ. Only Christ. There's no way it can be St. Peter's robe, or St. Peter's cross when it's inverted. No way. That is straight up a perversion of Christianity and holy symbols. I'm going to read you now a quote from Archpriest G.S. Dolbowski. And sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Archpriest, if you're watching this for some reason, or anyone who's speaking Slavic languages. I am American. But he says, in the understanding of the Church, the great schema is nothing less than the supreme vow of the cross and death. It is the image of complete isolation from the earth, the image of transformation and transfiguration of life, the image of death and the beginning of another higher existence. The fact that laymen are wearing these robes is an outright insult to monasticism, and it should be treated that way. This is not an art, or they're treating it as an art or some form of statement, when it's actually just flat out insulting to Christians for centuries. And the reason is you don't just become a monk and get to wear these robes. You have to work for these robes. You can't just go live in a monastery and then you're granted these robes. No, it's like moving up a grade in school. When you're in middle school and you're 8th grade was the end of middle school for me, and you think you're top dog, and all of that, you think you're so cool. But then you go to high school, you're a freshman, you're the lowest on the totem pole. And it's like that. It's different levels of monasticism from what a layman catechumen understands. Their second offense, I'll call it, is their perversion of icons and holy images. In Orthodoxy, icons are generally paintings in the Byzantine style that depict either holy people or events from scriptures. Let me take you over to mine. So here are my icons. Why did my flash turn on all of a sudden? I guess it's getting dark. Anyways, here are my icons. Sorry about that glare right there. Hey, no, it won't work as a halo. This is probably the most realistic you'll get with iconography. This is from, I want to say, a monastery in Sinai. I could be wrong about that. But these are ones that are more in the Byzantine style. Here's my patron saint, St. Paisios the Athonite. This one's called Christ the Grapevine, if I'm not mistaken. You have Christ in the center and then the 12 holy apostles around. And then I have this one of the Mother of God and Christ Child. And then up here, it's just a little pamphlet I got in the mail from ordering my, actually I think it was that icon if I remember right, but it came with a little paper thing with a blurb about a prayer rope. Oh, no, I got it with this wool prayer rope right here. Oh. Well, that one's lost. I'll have to take that icon down. Accidentally dropping a sheet of paper behind one of my icons aside, like an idiot. That what Batushka does is very reminiscent of an old heresy called iconoclasm that arose in the church. I can't remember the date. But basically a ton of Christians saw icons as idols, and many still do. I come from a Protestant background. That's why I'm still a catechumen, as I'm a relatively recent convert. I became a catechumen in July of this year. Very weird catechumens stage in 2020. Man, that was something to tell the grandkids. Anyways, they would destroy icons, just smash them, all that. the church eventually was able to show in their dogma and defend with the dogma that icons are for liturgical use and they are granted by holy tradition. The first icon is actually credited to St. Luke the physician, who you may know from writing the Gospel of Luke, and it was actually of the Mother of God, or Theotokos. And another thing that happened with icons that is a little bit more closer to what Batushka's doing with their album covers and stage art is when Muslim conquerors would come in, they would scratch the faces off of icons, which was an ultimate defilement and a tragedy to have these holy images perverted in that way. Nothing against Muslims on a personal level. I don't agree with you religiously, but I'll be happy to be your friend. Some of my favorite customers I've interacted with were Muslims. But it is very reminiscent of what they do with their album art. Here's an example of the album art for Liturgia, their first album. Quick little side message, it's getting dark outside. This is not all one take, obviously. So I put my computer screen on the white Google screen. So it may help with light coming towards me. That's also why the camera kind of shifts. You'll see some of my room, some of it not. My sitting position changes because I'm a little fidgety, but that's why that's happening. Back on topic. Going over the lyrics now. It's confusing. It's very confusing. I've seen some people say that they're doing the Divine Liturgy, but making it metal, which would be very cool. I'd listen to it, but they're not. A lot of the songs are coming from the point of view, or at least the ones that I looked up the lyrics to, seem to be from the point of view of God or Christ, which is done in metal, but in this way, also with the previous things I've discussed, it doesn't come off genuine. It comes off mocking, at least to me. Some of the grammar that they use in this could just be English translations, because if I remember right, their actual lyrics are in Old Church Slavonic. Could be wrong about that, but that's what I remember. But in one of the songs, I think it was called Song 2, it actually mentions the Mother of God. So, and I saw that, I'm like, okay. And then I read the lyric, and they called her Unholy Mother of God. And at that, I just went, what? What? And just, that is right there, definitive proof. They are not Orthodox. Some Protestants don't consider Mary holy. That's a subject for another time for people smarter than me. But in Orthodoxy, she is most holy among the saints. She's not God. She is not worshipped. Venerated, not worshipped. And even in the Divine Liturgy, we say it's more glorious than the cherubim, beyond compared than the seraphim, which are angels. I may have grammar wrong on that, but that's basically what it says. And we have acathists and paraclesis, or supplication services, to the Theotokos, the Most Holy Mother of God. And we call her Most Holy Mother of God. She is the most holy among the saints. So when I saw that, I just, what? Just no. Conclusion, I'm really skinny. I need to eat more. And also that Batushka is not Orthodox. Probably not even Christian. If anything, they're making a mockery of Holy Orthodoxy and the Christian faith as a whole. Another thing I noticed is they had a promo that I saw that they were performing at a concert along with Behemoth, who I think was organizing it. Okay, Christian bands tour with non-Christian bands all the time. And Behemoth, it's iffy. That's a discussion for another day over whether Christian bands should perform with bands such as Behemoth. But the tour name is what really got me. It's the Mary Christless tour. So, no Christ. And there was an inverted cross, not the Orthodox cross, it was a regular cross on it, but no, they're not Orthodox, most certainly not Orthodox, not Christian, at least in my opinion, from what I've observed, and that's what I have to say about it. Hopefully you found this somewhat long video informative, maybe entertaining, maybe you like my personality. I don't know why, maybe you do, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. See ya, God bless.